Gonçalo Inácio is on Manchester United's transfer list. The 22-year-old plays in the centre-back position. His current market value is €40 million. In the past 2 seasons, Inácio has played 108 matches for club and country. This is a big bonus given how many of our defenders endured long periods in the treatment room last season. This season he has managed 49 games for Sporting and 5 for Portugal. He will be flying to Germany to take part in Euro 2024 later this month. Inácio is certainly one to watch out for this summer. Manchester United ended their worst season in Premier League history after finishing 8th. But an unexpected victory over Manchester City in the FA Cup final may have changed the fortunes of Erik ten Hag, who blamed much of last season's problems on a spate of injuries in defence. Liverpool, meanwhile, also had a late collapse that saw them eliminated from the Europa League and drop out of contention for the Premier League title, something that was in no small part caused by the Reds' numerous injuries. Both the Mancunians and the Merseyside outfit do not want this to happen again next season, and one of the priorities for both sides ahead of the summer transfer window is to strengthen the defence. Sporting CP centre-back Gonçalo Inácio has been one of the leaders of the team that has emerged as champions of the Portuguese league this season, being the star of their defence at just 22 years of age. The Portuguese defender has made 49 competitive appearances this season and has a contract until 2027, but includes a €60 million termination clause. Both Liverpool and Manchester United are monitoring Gonçalo Inácio's situation ahead of the start of the transfer window, but according to Fabrizio Romano, there is no formal offer for the player at the moment. With just over a week to go until the summer transfer window opens, football fans all over the world are waiting to see what business Manchester United will do this summer. As reported by the Manchester Evening News in February, sales could reach double figures this summer, with Ineos determined to improve the club's productivity in the sellers market. United have not been proactive enough when it comes to getting players off the books in recent years. United are understood to be prepared to listen to offers for all but 4 first-team players this summer, with only Andre Onana, Kobbie ManU, Rasmus Højlund, and Alejandro Garnacho off limits. However, there are other members of the squad who can count themselves unfortunate not to have been included on the Reds' list of untouchables. With that in mind, our United writers have had their say on who they believe should have made the list. Tyrone Marshall. The FA Cup final was further evidence that the player United have missed more than any other this season is Lisandro Martinez. He is transformative to how this team plays, both with the ball at his feet and in terms of the aggression he shows when defending. The Argentine is a leader on and off the pitch and someone who sets the standards in training. He makes every session more competitive, and that kind of attitude and spirit are invaluable in every squad. He is also a left-footed centre-back, and there aren't many of those about now. He is excellent when in possession and can help the team build up play. Onana will benefit from having Martinez in front of him for a full season when it comes to playing out from the back. With plenty of change likely at centre-back this season, it is Martinez who will be the constant and the player this back 4 is built around. Stephen Railston. Bruno Fernandes won the Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year award for a 3rd time last month, and United must do everything they can to keep him this summer. The midfielder has been the dressing room's most consistent performer since signing in January 2020, and can't be sold. Since Fernandes arrived in the Premier League, no player has created more chances or big chances, and he's consistently produced goals and assists when United have needed him most. But his contribution goes beyond statistics. His leadership qualities are crucial, and he had never missed a club game through injury until the end of last season. Fernandes is everything a United player should be: talented, hard-working, and tenacious. Signing a world-class number 6 to start with him and Kobbie ManU must be the priority. George Smith. For all the money spent on new additions since Erik ten Hag's appointment, you can count the number of successes on one hand. Martinez has been the best import over the last 2 years, establishing himself as a fan's favorite who is key to the way ten Hag wants to play. He wears his heart on his sleeve and leads by example. His passion is unrivaled. Furthermore, he is essential to United's system. His ball-playing credentials are top-notch, and the difference he made in the FA Cup final at Wembley was there for all to see. United missed him more than anyone else during their 2023-24 injury crises. For those reasons, he should be on their list of untouchables this summer. United should be looking to build the spine of the team around him. Fingers crossed his injury record improves next term. The ideal transfer window is one planned months in advance and then executed with the minimum of fuss. Players slated to leave do so, and the arrivals are boxed off early and efficiently, giving a manager a full squad to go through pre-season with. The presence of two major tournaments and the Olympics make that a slightly less pressing issue this summer. But those well-run clubs in the Premier League will already have drawn up a best-case window that they will hope to be congratulating themselves on come September. At Manchester United, they will have an idea in mind of how they want this window to go. But there are so many variables at Old Trafford they could have plans A to Z drawn up and still go off track at some point. It is a summer that is going to test the decision-making and the flexibility of the key hires made by Ineos. With just over a week to go until the window opens, there is no clarity on who United's manager will be, and no start date for their chosen sporting director. Next month, Jean-Claude Blanc, himself an interim solution, will hand over the reins as chief executive to Omar Barada. The identity of the manager will guide some of the decisions on recruitment and sales, although Ineos are keen to strip some of the power away from that office. With Ashworth not yet in situ, it is technical director Jason Wilcox who will lead the window, with director of football negotiations Matt Hargreaves. They will need to be nimble throughout the summer, with several key signings prioritized, but a budget that simply isn't going to stretch far enough at the moment. To that end, departures are inevitable. Some of them are obvious. Donny van de Beek, Jadon Sancho, and Mason Greenwood will all either be sold or loaned out again. Others are dependent on offers coming in, and the fact only a handful of players in the squad are deemed untouchable is a hint of the flexibility United are prepared to show. That means players could leave later in the window if an attractive offer arrives. For now, the external focus is on the future of captain Bruno Fernandes, but there are others far more likely to be sold, such as Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Victor Lindelof. Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay were both on the market a year ago, and although they enjoyed good seasons, that might have only served to put their price up. What United can't afford to do is to leave themselves short heading into the new season. The injury crisis that decimated Erik ten Hag's squad during 2023-24 is a warning as to the unexpected events that can quickly derail a campaign. So the desire to keep 36-year-old Johnny Evans in the squad for one more year makes perfect sense. The former title winner played more than anyone expected last season, finishing with 30 appearances and a cameo in the FA Cup final. There is perhaps an argument that as a short-term signing it worked out well, but now is the time to move on. This is far from an ideal window United are operating in, however. Raphael Varane has already left this summer, and Lindelof and Maguire could potentially follow. At least one new central defender will be signed, but that figure could rise if there are other departures. Having strength and depth to cope with any potential issues that arise makes sense. If offers start to flood in the final month of the window, then having Evans around will give United that flexibility they desire. As a short-term option, he has proven himself capable of filling in either in the team or on the bench. The Northern Ireland international might be back to fifth choice when the season starts. If United avoid the injuries that have blighted the season just gone, then he might not play as much. But for now, attempting to keep him in the squad makes perfect sense. Manchester United could have a busy few months as they build up to next season. United finished 8th in the top flight this season and won the FA Cup to secure qualification for the Europa League. Now work will be underway for the 2024-25 campaign and the summer transfer window in the weeks ahead. Erik ten Hag's future as United manager continues to be a talking point and the subject of speculation. For now, though, the Dutchman remains in charge, and Men's Sport has taken a look. Bruno Fernandes is reportedly seeking a new contract with the Old Trafford club this summer. According to The Guardian, the United captain is seeking a new deal that would put him among the club's highest earners. It has also been stated that Fernandes wants to know the long-term plan amid uncertainty around ten Hag's future. Fernandes's current deal with United runs until 2026 with the option of another year. However, the report claims that the United number 8 feels undervalued by the club's hierarchy and wants a wage increase. Men's Sport says, Bruno Fernandes is one of the most important players in the United squad. However, it's understood that he is not one of the 4 players who have been made unavailable for transfer by United this summer. It cannot be questioned Fernandes' commitment to performing his best for United during his time with the club so far, especially since being awarded the captain's armband. Whether the club believes a new contract is the next step, though, remains to be seen. Wolves star Matheus Cunha has addressed speculation linking him with a move to United. Reports in recent days have claimed that United could make a move to sign Cunha this summer. The former Atletico Madrid forward is reportedly valued at $60 million by Wolves, having moved to ManU last summer in a deal reportedly worth $44 million. "My focus is on resting and making the most of my time with my family," Cunha told Globo Esport. Red Bull Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko is a name that has been mentioned a lot so far in the transfer window, with Manchester United, Arsenal, and Chelsea, the three Premier League clubs, credited with an interest. United have been showing an interest in the player for over 2 years, with the men reporting back in 2022 that the club had held talks with the striker's representatives over a possible move. It now seems that they face a lot of competition if they are to reignite their interest. The 21-year-old impressed in his first season in the Bundesliga after making the move from Red Bull Salzburg last summer. In his 31 games, he scored 14 goals and provided 2 assists. The 21-year-old is currently away on international duty with Slovenia. He was an unused substitute for this week's friendly against Armenia, as the nation prepares for the European Championships in just over a week. It's as preparations step up for the tournament that the forward has decided to make a major change. Photos of him during the game against Armenia show that he has shaved his hair short and dyed it blonde. The new look is one that he will now take into the European Championships as he looks to impress during the tournament in Germany. United will certainly be watching how he gets on as they contemplate a possible move.